Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today I'm pleased to announce we got a little bit of a special guest on the show. I have here a copy of the Anubis amulet, and it's a metal copy too. Now, I figured it'd be cool to show a copy to everyone since maybe some people are wondering what that picture of Anubis is on my desktop up here. That's a copy of this guy right here. Now, he's a big part of my research. I wrote a few blogs on him for Adept Initiates, so hope everyone checks him out. Yeah, some people have been asking me too how they can get a copy of the Anubis amulet. I was thinking about getting copies for people, but what I did is I got a really cool lab in Toronto and got them to make some copies for me, and I got the 3D printing file. So if anyone wants a 3D printing file to make one for themselves, just let me know. I can send that to you. Yeah, today's show topic is the DRACO Stonehenge. I noticed on my YouTube channel that it's getting a lot of hits, so I figured I'd do some more updates on that. Seems like that's what the viewers want, so it's basically what I'm doing this show for. Yeah, I'd just like to say my condolences for all the people affected by the Texas shootings today. Couldn't believe to hear that on the news. Seems like these crazy events are getting more and more common every week now. So, yeah, my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone on that. Alright, so I guess I'll move on to a little bit more positive information here. Yeah, so what I'm going to cover on the show tonight is I'm going to go over the website or the Wikipedia page for Draco, the new Draco video I made. Yesterday I didn't get a live show done, but I spent about 14 hours working on a new clip that was better than the first one that I released, so I'm going to play that later on in the show. Hope everyone likes it. And I'm going to go over the map of the location of where anyone who wants to go visit this Draco Stonehenge can find it. And tell everyone about how the contacts has been going too. Got some good news ever since I shared the information on this. Share that as well. And yeah, I guess I'll take a look at a bit of other stuff, but nothing too major other than that. Yeah, and I've got the live chat here going, so if anyone wants to join in the conversation, don't be shy. I don't mind answering the questions during the show. And yeah, if anyone wants to join in via Skype too, just send me a little message here in the chat and I'll open up Skype and can take some callers. So if anyone's into Skype conversations, it'd be cool to have someone else talking on the show. Got some guests lined up in the near future, but still, so far it's just been me and Anubis. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guest. Not great for conversation though. Now, I heard if you store the Anubis amulet incorrectly, you can hear some spirits sometimes at night. I haven't had any encounters with that yet, but maybe it's lucky that I didn't. Alright, so I guess I'll just check and make sure I got everything ready to go for the show here. Yeah, looks like my special effects are working today. Yeah, if the volume's wrong at all or anyone needs me to correct any technical issues, just make sure to mention in the chat. So far I think I got all the levels set correctly. Yeah, it looks like we got a few viewers and a few likes on the show, so maybe I'll get started right away before I wait too much longer. Don't want to make this a super long video. Looks like my glass is green, so it's disappearing as I go to drink. A little bit of the magic going on in the Magi City. Yeah, let's hopefully I don't spill the drink. Usually I use a 2-liter and drink out of that, but today's my holiday, so I got a little bit of a mixed drink going. Gonna be back to work in a few days, so I figured I might as well try to enjoy myself a little beforehand. Alright, so where will we begin? I guess we'll cover the Draco website. See if I got that ready to go. Now, before I got into researching this Draco Stonehenge, I wasn't really too familiar with this Draco constellation, so reading this website was a really big help for me. Let's see. I guess what I'll do is I'll increase the size a bit so anyone watching on a mobile device will have a chance at reading it too. There we go. That looks a little better. Alright, the Draco is a constellation in the far northern sky. Its name is Latin for dragon. And it was one of the 48 constellations listed by the 2nd century astronomer, I don't know how you say his name, Ptolemy maybe? And it remains one of the 88 modern constellations today. And the north pole of the ecliptic is in Draco. And Draco is circumpolar, that it's never setting. Oh, that's pretty cool. And it can be seen all year from the northern latitudes. And where that connects to the DRACO Stonehenge is it's way up north. So I think maybe that's one of the reasons that they decided, whoever built it, maybe the First Nations peoples or some of the other early pagans, I think they made it for that reason, is that they could see it from all year. Yeah, I'm sure if it was up in the sky for that long too, it must have seemed like a powerful thing to the ancients. Yeah, sorry, just my headphone cord is a little bit tangled here. I'm gonna have to get some new headphones so I get a bit more slack. Maybe get a cord going, extension. Alright, so up here we got a little bit of a picture where you can find it. And it's pretty cool. I don't know if that's something to do with the Big Dipper. It almost looks like it is, huh? Yeah, if anyone in the chat's familiar with Draco Constellation and wants to make some comments about it, I'm still learning about it. Yeah, I guess I'll go over some more of the information. Oh, there's a nice picture, huh? Yeah, this version of it almost looks upside down compared to the way that I was seeing it before, or the way that I made the image in the video. But I guess maybe it spins in the sky, so you'd see it at different angles at different times. We'll move on from the pictures. Right, Thuban, a Draconis, was the northern pole star from 3942 BC. And when it moved farther north than Theta Bootis until 1793 BC, the Egyptian pyramids were designed to have one side facing north, with an entrance passage geometrically aligned to it, to be visible at night. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about in my last videos. I think the ancient internet connection worked by facing certain stars so that they could use it as a fiber optic connection. The starlight, right? Just like fiber optic cords use light. And due to the effects of precession, it will again be the pole star around the year, what is that? 21,000 AD. Holy cow. So I don't think any of us will be around to see that unless we develop some sort of immortality thing before then. Yeah, it is a blue-white giant star, magnitude 3.7309 light years from Earth. The traditional name of Alpha Draconis Thuban means head of the serpent. Yeah, it's neat that, the Serpent Mounds in Ohio? I wonder if they're somehow related to this. Let's see. How's the chat going? Yeah, no one's put questions in yet. Sure, anyone, if you want to interrupt with questions, go right ahead. Alright, where was I? There are 3 stars under magnitude 3 in Draco. The brighter of the 3 and the brightest star in Draco is Gamma Draconis. So maybe that would be the one that you have to stargaze. just like the ancient Magi did when they stargazed a star to find their way to Jesus. I know a lot of scholars talked about the idea that the Magi couldn't have just followed the star like a lighthouse because geography-wise, it wouldn't work out. But if they were getting information from the Akashic records by stargazing, I think it would. It talks about binary star systems. Guess I won't read this whole thing because it's getting pretty technical and a lot of words that I'm not going to be able to pronounce properly, especially after having a drink. Yeah, I'm not trying to condone drinking too. Some people I know, some good friends of mine, are having problems with their drinking, alcoholic-wise, so if anyone wants to drink a regular drink without any alcohol to join me, that's probably the better way to do it. Just like the song goes, right? Might as well go for soda. Nobody dies. Ah, yeah. An English astronomer, William Herschel. I believe I've heard of that name before. Maybe that's just a coincidence because that was 1786. It's a 9th magnitude and was named for its appearance in the Hubble telescope. Yeah, I guess the Hubble telescope's still going these days, eh? That thing's been up there for a long time and sure has got some amazing images back. I was kind of checking out this website to see if I could find any more information about the mythology. Ah, here we are. Okay, it says here that dragons in Greek mythology that may have inspired the constellation's name include Ladon, the dragon who has guarded the golden apples of, oh boy, Hesperides? I probably butchered that. Hercules killed Ladon during his 12 labors, and he was tasked with stealing the golden apples. The constellation of Hercules is depicted near Draco. Yeah, it reminds me of my uncle. He always jokes and calls me Hercules. So I'm not near that strong, but he's nice enough to call me that. I don't mind it. Yeah, for those of you who haven't heard me talk about my uncle before, he's got Down syndrome and I help look after him, so he's a really good guy. I mention him on the show every now and then. Although he's more into watching hockey. He's not going to be watching the show here. Yeah, sometimes Draco is represented as the demon son of Gaia, Typhoon. And Arabic astronomy does not depict a dragon in modern-day Draco, which is called Mother Camels. Huh, that's kind of neat. Yeah, I try to always cover the different cultures around the world. I don't want to get stuck being just Eurocentric or anything. Though it does seem like a lot of the ancient pagan stuff I study has a lot to do with the ancient Europeans, but it's definitely not exclusive to them. The constellation has been subject to many more myths, but ones that are obscure. It's a shame. I kind of wouldn't mind to see these obscure ones. Now, it was neat after I shared the Draco Stonehenge video yesterday. It started to get quite a few hits, and I even got some cool comments back from some of the viewers, and they mentioned that, yeah, even a friend of mine mentioned that I guess Draco was common for a lot of stone structures, even in North America. So that was news to me. I definitely wasn't expecting to find it way up north. But I guess maybe I should have been. Alright. Namesakes. Meteor showers. Well, that's kind of neat. The main character in a 1996 film, Dragonheart, gets his name from this constellation. That's cool. I think I've seen that movie before. The film also reveals that Draco is actually a dragon heaven, where dragons go when their time in this world is complete. And if they've upheld the oath of the ancient dragon to guard mankind, with dragons otherwise fading into the nothing upon their deaths. At the conclusion of the film, I guess this is a spoiler for everyone who hasn't seen it, Draco the Last Dragon ascends to the constellation after he sacrifices himself to destroy an evil king that had saved years ago. Yeah, I always cover a lot of different sacrifice stuff because a lot of my research is into ancient offering tables. And it was wild when I was coming back down from the ancient offering table next to this DRACO Stonehenge. I had an encounter with a really strange rabbit, like a species of rabbit I'd never seen before. And I asked some of the people in town if they had seen it before, and they said it could have been a jackrabbit, but yeah, from what I saw, this rabbit was almost like really white. He had super long whiskers, like a kung fu master, and like really bushy ones, almost like a lion sort of thing. So I don't know. It was a pretty wild encounter. And anyways, yeah, these rabbits in mythology were often used as offering themselves in a sacrifice. And when they did, they were revered so much that their image was placed on the moon. So if you ever have a chance, take a look up at the moon and see if you can find the dragon or the rabbit. Yeah, he'll be sitting next to an offering table. Alright, so I guess Draco Malfoy, antagonist in the Harry Potter series, is named after this constellation as well. So in case there's any Harry Potter fans watching the show, there's one for you. I watched about half of the first movie and I thought it was pretty good. Guess I'm not really into watching movies too much. Maybe when I'm done all my research and I've retired, I'll get into that someday. Alright, I guess back to the rest of the show. Let's see what else I got on the agenda next. Okay, let's see what we got, eh? Oh, that song usually means it's time for a commercial break, but for today, it means that it's time for the Draco video. Yeah, so I hope everyone likes it and doesn't make fun of the voiceovering, please. I tried my best doing it. It took me 14 hours and it didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted, but better than the first one I made, so let's give her a go here. The Canadian Stonehenge, the Draco constellation. Each stone sits on balanced rocks. The site is dated approximately 6000 BC. The rocks are massive in size, not easy to move. Rock patterns align with the solstices. The natives call it a power spot for spirits. The trees have grown in, blocking the view. Making it difficult to see, even from above. King Solomon's gold mine could be here. It's located next to a sacred mountain. As above, so below. A clearing leads up to the sacred stones. It measures 240 feet across and 85 feet wide. Just like the stone ship burial sites of the Vikings. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Anubis seemed like he liked the video too. Thanks, Anubis. Now, that video I made just about the footage, I guess, about a week ago, and man, it was freezing cold up north already. As you can see in the video, it was snowing already. And it was super expensive to make. I think over $3,000 I spent in total, and I'm not going to make a dime off of it back, so I really appreciate anyone who can put likes in the video and maybe subscribe to my channel. If you want to watch it in 4K, that's the main reason I spent so much money on it, is I got one of the best drones you could get to make that. So yeah, some days I wonder what I got myself into all about this, but yeah, I guess it's worth it in the end if it helps solve some of the world's most amazing ancient mysteries. It's one of my main goals working as a field researcher for Adept Initiates. Yeah, and the blog, I'm still working on it. It's almost done. It's like, seems like every day I'm thinking the blog's ready to go, I find out more information about the site, and I gotta make some updates. Yeah, I guess that might not sound like a lot of money to make a video to some people, but man, that probably took all my savings for the entire year, so not much of a social life, just staying in every day, working on ancient research and saving up money for that trip. But I guess I got a lot of really cool feedback from viewers who liked it, so I think it was really worth it. And going up north and freezing my butt off when my family was in the Caribbean probably seemed dumb at the time, but maybe in the end it's going to work out for the best. And I guess I shouldn't dwell on that video too long. I'll move on to the next topic we got for the show. Yeah, I promised everyone I was going to show a map of where to find this location up north. So basically in my area is close to Toronto here, Guelph, Kitchener, Hamilton. Basically southern Ontario is where I live. Each one of these little stars I got on my Google Maps is different sites that I like to visit. Which one is this? Oh yeah, that's one of the places I played disc golf. Now, some of these ones on this label should be really cool ancient sites. See what we got here. Ah, this one. This is a Serpent Mountain Park that we have in southern Ontario, but it's still far away from the one up north. Yeah, I guess the most famous Serpent Mountain place is in Ohio, is it? See if I got it marked on the map. No, I guess I'll have to mark it the next time. Or maybe I did and it's not here anymore. That's odd. I could have swore I had it marked on there. Oh well, I'll have it marked for the next show. So basically what you do if you want to get there is you gotta catch a bus, or if you're driving from Toronto, you have to take the 400 north until you get to Highway 11. And this Highway 11 takes you the rest of the way. You only have to make one more turn. But don't get me wrong in thinking that it's a short drive. It's Well, maybe we'll see how far it is from Toronto. Directions from here. Yeah, so you go up that Highway 11, past Brace Bridge and Gravenhurst, past North Bay. North Bay is a really good city along the way. I know one of the viewers commented in the YouTube channel from the video that he was from the North Bay area. And yeah, he's thinking about going on a trip up there to see it, and we're going to split the gas possibly, so really appreciate that. That helps me a lot, because a good chunk of the money I spend on these trips is usually for transportation. I had my license suspended for medical reasons about 10 years ago. Still haven't gotten it back yet. I might soon one day though. Alright, so yeah, you keep taking that and Highway 11, keep going north. You have to go past a place called Temiskaming, and I think that's where they have a really cool tower if you want to stop for a rest along the way. Climb up to the top of the tower. I know me and some friends did it this summer and it was a blast. God, I missed that trip. Yeah, you never know what else it takes is some friends coming with you on a trip to make it that much more memorable, right? Compared to always going alone. Alright, so yeah, once you take this Highway 11 all the way up, you get to a turn, and it's called Highway 66. Ooh, Highway 66, right? Yeah, and from there you hang a right, and you have to go through a couple small towns. And along the way you're going to pass some of the world's best gold mines, like this Kirkland Lake gold property here. It's considered maybe by a lot of people now, I think, to be the #1 location for King Solomon's Lost gold mine. Just because it has the highest gold quality rating in the world, or second best. Let's see. Hey, I didn't click there. Alright. And before we get to Kirkland Lake Gold, there's a town probably everyone should see along the way. Looks like Google hasn't even marked it. Ah, here it is. It's the town of Swastika. Yeah, and it's been named this before the World War II area, so not everyone has to freak out about the name. It's nothing to do with the evil stuff that Hitler did. Yeah, and it's neat too because this name corresponds to the history of the ancient Aryans. And I believe they played a major role with the pagan activity, so it's almost a little bit of a clue there when you go through towns that have the ancient pagan names. Yeah, one of my theories has been for a couple of years now that this is King Solomon's Lost gold mine, and it was the pagans that were running the gold back and forth, and it may go back all the way to the ancient Aryan people, maybe even older, to the Sumerians, or maybe the Sumerians and the Aryans are the same. That's still up for debate, I guess. Yeah, so there's a couple minor memorials if you want to see how many people have been killed mining in this town. It's really sad. Everyone bashes the mining industry, but a lot of people put their lives on the line, and they're not doing it to try to destroy the planet, but a lot of our civilization depends on the mining. It's like gold is a big component in a lot of electronics that we use today. So sure, it's bad, all the damage we're doing to the environment, but it's like a double-edged sword, I guess. If you want technology, you're going to have to destroy some things in the process. Maybe in the future it won't be that way, and we'll be able to mine asteroids. That'd be kind of sick. Then we won't have to do as much damage to the Earth, hopefully. We can still have what we need. Yeah, I better slow down on drinking this drink, or I'm going to start slurring all my words. Alright, so yeah, you continue on that Highway 66 and you pass a place called King Kirkland. Haven't done much research there yet, but maybe there's some more clues. There's a place called Crystal Beach along the way, and that was one of the nicest beaches I've seen up north, and lots of hot babes in bikinis up there, so if you're thinking you're going to be isolated from civilization, no, there's actually some really cool shit going on there. It's a part of my language. Or it could be some nice guys there too, if that's what you're into. And shouldn't laugh. Yeah, there's a place called Lauder Lake, and this is the lake that the Stonehenge is on. And you can see that it's a massive lake. It's about 20 kilometers big if you go from end to end. Oh, it reminds me, on the last trip I wanted to stop because there's a place called Dublin Bay. And I think there's a connection to the ancient pagans there because if you look at the Stonehenge site in England, they have it's across a bay, and the bay on the other side is the place of Dublin. I don't know if that's I guess it's a city of Dublin. And if you take the shape, it's almost the same, although the scale is way off because this place is tiny in comparison to the English Channel. But yeah, so the Stonehenge in England would be right about here. And it's neat too, if you take the two maps and you look to see if there's anything where the Stonehenge site is, there's a fake Stonehenge that someone built as like a historical museum, like a replica or whatever, and they put it right in the spot where our Stonehenge would be on the map. So I don't know if that's just a coincidence, or maybe it'd be neat if some Freemasons were involved and they knew about all these clues, and the reason they put it there is because that's where it corresponds on the other map. Yeah, hopefully I'm making sense on that, but maybe I'll do a video about that next time. Yeah, I don't know if anyone can tell, but this guy here in the lake, if anyone's into symbology that you can find on the planet and stuff, it's like here's a shaman who's holding up an offering table or a cauldron. And you can see he's got his nose there and a little breathing apparatus and a thing on the back of his head, but that matches to what is it, an Olmec image, and with the same nose piece and headdress and everything on. So I guess it has to be a coincidence because no one has the technology to shape a lake that way, but almost makes you wonder if the creator himself or themselves put some clues into our planet with this type of imagery being found in nature. So anyways, yeah, that's where the Stonehenge is, and I'll put it as a destination so we can see how far it is from Toronto. I have it set to walking because that's usually what I do a lot of without a license. But I don't recommend walking from Toronto. That would be a heck of a journey. Alright, so yeah, it's about 600 kilometers away. Yeah, it's neat when I typed in the destination to my house. I think it worked out to pretty close to 666 kilometers. I sure hope that's just a coincidence. Yeah, and if you wanted to walk there, let's see for the heck of it. 127-hour walk. Yeah, that'd be quite the walk. If you want to take a bike, 36 hours. That wouldn't be such a bad trip. Although the highways are a little bit dangerous for walking and biking, that's for sure. Yeah, see how long of a car ride it works out to be. Yeah, so about 6-hour car ride. Recommend splitting it up into 2-car rides. Drive 3 hours maybe to around the North Bay area. Take a break there at the mall. There's some amazing food in the mall. Some Chinese food places that, man, every time I go through there I want to stop there and eat. Super good prices, huge portions. So I guess I shouldn't dwell too much on that. Yeah, I guess I'll give you a satellite image so you guys can see what it looks like from above. Although Google satellite imagery isn't as high-tech as some of the other websites, so you probably want to go to a place like Flash Earth and look at it too. Alright, so let's show you how to get there. Here I have a star, is that Bear Lake rest area I talk about. And it's neat, one of the first explorers that came all the way from Bulgaria to see this site is the biggest bear enthusiast I know. And when it came time to park in a rest area close to the trail that leads you in, it was the Bear Lake rest area. See if they got the name of it so you guys can tell I'm not making it up. Yeah, there it is, Bear Lake. Yeah, it's a beautiful rest area. It's got picnic tables, washrooms. And here on the map you can see there's another thing right across the road that you go down. And what that is a freshwater spring. And it's set up with a sink and like a spot where you can fill water bottles. So if you ever want to try drinking the water up north in Canada, there's an ideal place to do it. It says the water isn't tested, but a lot of people in town just fill it up there and don't boil it. So I tried it and I didn't get sick. So, but don't take my word on it. Maybe you should. I don't want to get stuck in trouble if someone gets sick from it. Alright, so yeah, basically you park in the Bear Lake rest area. The main reason you do that is because some of this trail down here going to it isn't really suitable for vehicles other than pickup trucks. If you have a pickup truck, you can make it all the way, but a regular car, you're likely going to get hung up and scratch the crap out of the paint. So if you're worried about damaging your car, definitely park at the Bear Lake rest area. There's no parking fees there at all. I don't think you'll find parking fees anywhere this far north. Population's definitely a lot smaller. Yeah, it's only about 20-minute to a 40-minute walk, depending on if you're dawdling or if you're going to hike quick. I think I made it in under half an hour easy. Yeah, and you can take it all the way down to the beach. And if you've got to the beach, that means you've gone too far. You got to turn around, go back, and take the first right. That's a good way to do it if you've never been there before. Yeah, and if you're in a pickup truck, there's a parking area here where you can park. Yeah, and if you plan on camping overnight, dear God, this is one of the most beautiful places I've ever camped. This whole strip along here is like a really sandy beach, clear sand, clear water, and almost not a soul to be seen anywhere. So you might have the whole campsite and the whole beach to yourself. Maybe if you go on the weekends, you might find someone, but I was there during the week and it was empty. Alright, I guess I should check the chat. No one's got any questions yet, but make sure to join in with questions if you want. I don't really like doing these shows and just talking to myself. The main reason I got live streams going is so we could interact with the viewers. Alright, so yeah, once you take your first hand right and you go through, you'll notice you're on the right track because there's a washed out sand road going down it. And even if you're in a truck, I don't think you'll make it down that. Maybe if you're an amazing driver, but... Hey, that's cool. I think I marked it as the Stonehenge and now it's listed there, or maybe someone else marked it. But I don't recall ever seeing that marker on this map before. Sweet. Alright, so this giant clearing here is what's called the stone ship for the Viking sacred stones. And it's the one that measures like 240 feet across. I think it was 85 feet wide. And it's the same shape and construction that you usually find in the Vikings sacred stone circles. So that's kind of maybe a clue to solving it there. And in this part here is where you're going to find the Draco constellation stones, or the Stonehenge. You can see there's so many trees that have grown in, it makes it almost impossible to see. Not only when you're there, but even with a drone. Like if you watched my drone video already on YouTube there, or I guess, yeah, I played it earlier in this show. It's really difficult to make out. I don't know if one day the site will ever be restored, but it's kind of a shame that you can't see the rocks. Yeah. And then if you go down the path from the stone ship, there's a really cool rock beach. Like it's just like a flat slab of rock the whole way. It almost looks like a runway going right into the lake. And the cool part of that is this lake connects to the Ottawa River down here. And that Ottawa River is massive. You can take it all the way down and eventually connects to here, bigger part of the Ottawa River. And the Ottawa River takes it all the way down to Montreal. And around there is where it connects to the St. Lawrence. And then that's where you get out to the ocean. And I believe that they were shipping the gold from King Solomon that way. And they made it across there, all the way to the Straits of Gibraltar. And then from there they could just go in, and bam, guess where you are, is King Solomon's gold mine, the Holy Land. Yeah, a lot of the places that they used for their ports was a place called Sidon, and that's here in Lebanon. And it's crazy that all the conflicts we see in, what is it, Lebanon or Syria, are right where the heart of this gold trade was going. So basically this whole place has been in constant conflict since it was been taken over by the ancient pagans. Not blaming anyone for taking it over, because that's pretty much what every people do around the world. Is unless you're a Neanderthal, you're probably not going to be able to say that your ancestors didn't take the land you're on. Yeah, so then I don't want to dwell too much on that stuff, but yeah, yeah, if you keep going north on this Mediterranean is where you're going to find, here it is, Bulgaria. And that's where the other ancient offering table is that matches the one next to the Canadian Stonehenge. Yeah, sorry, excuse me. Just need a little bit of a drink. Yeah, Paparikan. I don't know, I keep saying that wrong, but that's where their offering table is. So you can see it's neat that if you're going to travel from one of these offering tables in Canada all the way to the one in Bulgaria or ancient Thrace, you could take a boat the whole way. Or a vast majority of the way, that's for sure. Didn't have to walk. Yeah, so anyways, I guess I won't dwell too much on all this. Gotta get moving on with the show here. Almost at over a half hour already. I don't want to take forever because I know people got stuff to do and they don't have all day to watch this. Alright, so where was I? There it is. Yeah, so there's where the Stonehenge site is. I know a lot of people have been asking me where it is and how to get there, so I figured I should do a little bit of an update today and show people how to get there. Yeah, one of the properties I bought, hopefully I'll be moving there in the future, is in a place called Crunk. That's why I got it marked on the map. The Chemist Lodge is a really nice place to stay there. But my property's in rough shape, and I was hoping I'd be able to fix it up, but money-wise I'm not doing too good, so I definitely recommend just staying at the River Valley restaurant rooms or the Chemist Lodge, because my place isn't going to be in any shape for visitors or even myself anytime soon. You never know if one of these days I work out my finances, I might be able to pull it off. Alright, so yeah, just up the road, I guess, from this Stonehenge site, I'll show you where the offering table is. You can see it here, it's labeled Mount Chemist, and geographically you can see it really stands out. And the offering table's there, right about there. You can see that it's in view, so you could see almost the Stonehenge site from the offering table. Maybe I'll do a little bit of distance test to show people how far it is from one to the other. Yeah, so it's about a 13-kilometer drive. Was it a 17-minute drive or so? I managed to do it walking. It's about almost a 3-hour walk. Yeah, it was kind of neat on my trip on the last one. I walked all the way from my place in Kearns down to the Stonehenge site, back up to my place, then to Mount Chemist, and then back again. I don't recommend doing that walk all in one day. It's like, I'm pretty good at walking. I do it for a living. Like, I work outside in property maintenance, and I pretty much walk all day, every day. But yeah, that was a hell of a journey to do with all my camera gear. I think it worked out to be about 35 kilometers. I walked basically from before sunrise until an hour after sunset, and just so made it back in time to get some food and a drink at the restaurant. Yeah, that River Valley restaurant, I should comment on them. It's like, man, the staff is so nice. Not only did they keep the room open later for me, because they usually close them for the winter, but they also kept the restaurant open for me a bit later so I could get some food after this adventure. Man, was I starving, so that really hit the spot. Highly recommend visiting them. Alright, so I guess that's all I wanted to cover on the maps. If anyone's got any questions, wants to see more information about the maps, looks like the chat's empty right now. Yeah, if anyone's wondering what I'm glancing over at, I got another computer set up so that I can monitor everything at the same time. Makes it a little bit easier on my stream health because I don't want to max out the PC's power. It's pretty tough to get a computer to run these live streams. Especially if you want to add in graphics like maps and videos and pictures. Pretty much spent a good chunk of my life savings to make this show happen. Hopefully it'll get a little bit more popular and I won't end up talking to myself every episode. Alright, let's see what we got for show notes. I don't know where that came from. I'm just testing out the sound effects again. Alright, yeah, show notes, what have we got? Map location, the Draco video, yeah, we covered that. Oh yeah, I was just gonna thank some of my supporters. Like, a lot of people have been watching and sharing my video, and holy crap, that's a big help. It's like usually I can spend a whole day sharing videos and it really doesn't get a lot of clicks or likes sometimes, and it's like I wasted a whole day that I could have been researching. So anyone's like liking and sharing my videos, it means the world to me, really. Yeah, so one of the coolest ladies, one of my friends from Bulgaria, mentioned that I should check out her work. Yeah, her name's Ryder, and she does some work on ancient sites. And she shared her video on her page, and man, I started getting massive amounts of likes and clicks. So big shout out to Julie for helping me out with that. Yeah, she also mentioned too that there's some different scans that I should look into getting done on the Stonehenge site to see if there's anything happening underground. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, but I guess these scans are going to be super expensive, so really I shouldn't be spending more of my life savings on this before I have a stable living environment. Maybe one of these days when I get my house together and I can say I have somewhere to actually live. Then. Right now I've actually got this whole show set up just in my mom's basement. She's been helping me, and I've been helping out look after my Uncle Pete with her at the same time, so I guess in a way it's working out. It's not really as bad as it sounds. I'm sure a lot of the refugees and everything going on in the world have way worse living conditions than I do. Definitely shouldn't be complaining. There's a bright side to it. Yeah, so here's Julie's website. She's got some Facebook pages going too. Maybe she's got a YouTube channel also, but I don't think I found that yet. Yeah, it's neat. She looks at all these giant stones, I guess in the Montana area. Hopefully I'll get a chance to go visit them someday. I know some of my friends have been there before and highly recommended seeing them. Yeah, it looks like Julie does tours. Yeah, she mentioned these energy grid lines. I checked to see where the Stonehenge site is on this energy grid line. It really didn't map up with anything, but yeah, you never know, right? There's some researchers have different opinions on where these energy grid lines go. And the First Nations people believe that it's collecting one of the best energy spots around, so I guess to each their own. Yeah, some incredible pics she's got here on her website, so yeah, I highly recommend everyone checking out Julie's work, and if Julie's listening at all, big thanks, Julie, for helping share my work. Really appreciate it. Means the world to me. Alright, so I guess I'll go on to, what is it, Facebook next? I won't go into showing everyone's profile that liked my videos and stuff, but figured what I'd do is check out my Adept Initiates page, or that I help out with. And just show how the videos have been doing. People have been sharing it. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger so people can see it. If anyone's watching the show on a cell phone, I really appreciate it. All the viewers, the better. Alright, so here I posted a link about the live stream that I'm doing. It already reached a bunch of people, and oh, some people liked it. That's nice of them. Yeah, too bad they're not in the live stream watching right now, or I guess if they are, maybe they're watching on a source that doesn't show up on YouTube. I guess maybe if you're watching it and you're not signed in, it won't register. I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, if anyone wants to help share these live stream pages that I put up, that'd be a big help too. Yeah, I highly recommend checking out this Adept Initiates page. They got some of the best occult research around, as far as I'm concerned. Not just saying that because I contribute to it. Yeah, Carrie, she does some amazing work. Hopefully I can get her as a guest on the show one day. I think I've seen her do a live stream before. Hello, I'm terminally weird. Yeah, I think that one applies to me. I'm probably the weirdest person you can meet. Someone's spending their life savings on traveling up north, exploring Stonehenges while their family's in the Caribbean, staying on beaches. I can't get much more weird than that. Oh yeah, here Carrie published this thing about the similarities between Mesopotamians and the Bible, I guess. That's really cool, because I think some people might get upset by it, but the Bible is so similar to the ancient Sumerian text. I really think that they're one and the same. Like the the ancient Sumerians, or Adam and Eve, could have been the first Sumerians. It's probably a wild theory and I'll get proven wrong, but I figured I'd mention it. Yeah, it's neat. Quite a few people got reached by my Stonehenge video and got lots of likes and shares and some interesting comments. So really appreciate everyone helping share it and the comments. It's like, even if you got some questions you think are way off, it's like I'd much rather hear strange questions than no questions. It's really appreciate all the comments and stuff. The Amentia mushrooms. Or no, that's a different species, but it looks similar. Just saying that because that's what was growing next to the ancient offering tables up north. Not that I condemn eating, not that I recommend eating magic mushrooms. In a lot of cases, they'd be illegal. Yeah, for adept initiates, I had this dream blog. Yeah, recommend everyone checking it out. Oh yeah, it reminds me that Epic of Gilgamesh had a little bit of information on dreams. I think there was one other link I was going to show you guys. Yeah, it turns out the baby smiling got more likes than my post did, but I guess I don't take it personally. That baby is pretty funny. Yeah, here's one of the other Draco Constellation Stonehenge videos I did. This one wasn't quite as popular, but I guess I didn't really put in the effort into sharing it as much. Yeah, I guess I should give a shout out to people who've been helping share my videos, like Daniel was helping share it. Who else do I got on here? Yeah, me and a guy named John were talking on the Scott Walter Facebook page, and man, he had some great questions and had a lot of information about offering tables. He didn't quite agree on all my research, but man, I really appreciate the conversation nonetheless. In a way, it's more fun talking to people that don't agree with everything you say, right? It's like Anubis. He doesn't say anything, so it's a lot better than that. I guess maybe I'll close up the Facebook page, unless, yeah, I guess I could, another viewer, who was it, named Amy Lee, she mentioned that there was another Stonehenge site on the west coast of Canada that I should come see. So I'll just give a shout out to Amy Lee. Appreciate the comments there. One of these days I'm going to try getting out to the west coast to see that one. That would be a really fun trip. Yeah, and I guess over the course after sharing these videos, it turned out that I got some people that were interested enough in it that they're suggesting writing a book about it. I really appreciate that. Oh yeah, that was Daniel. Yeah, so if Daniel's listening, I really appreciate all your support, and that was really awesome. Yeah, so I guess it was really sweet that got some book deals ranged up, some tours possibly set up, and all from making that video from going up north. So in a way, I really don't feel like it was for nothing, even though I spent so much money on it and I'm going to be broke for a long time. But yeah, I guess the last thing I wanted to show everyone, I guess I shouldn't have closed Google. Yeah, just give everyone a look at my YouTube page. Where is it? There we go. Oh, what do you know? It says I'm live right now. Yeah, so here's my YouTube page. So you can see I could really use some extra subscribers if anyone has the time to log in. So far I'm at 40, and maybe I can get that number up over 100 in the next few weeks. That'd be a huge success for me. Yeah, and these hits don't seem the biggest. I guess 200 on one, 350 on the other, but normally my YouTube videos don't really get that many at all, so I really appreciate it. It may not sound like it going viral to some people, but 300 hits in a couple days is like huge for me. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I guess there isn't anything else I wanted to cover on the show. Shouldn't let it run on too long. We're almost at the hour mark. See if I can wrap it up by then. What was that? Oh, yeah. Some of my regular viewers might know. That means that sound means it's time for the end of the show. Thanks everyone for watching, and if anyone has any ideas about the Draco Stonehenge or questions that they want to post down in the the chat, make sure you do, because I'm going to be checking it almost every day, so I'll definitely get back to you on it. And if any subscribes or shares, greatly appreciate it. And heck, if you want me to subscribe to your channel, just send me a message and I'll do that. I think I subscribed to a few other channels this week. And if you want to check out my YouTube page, you can see I got videos on everything from King Solomon's Gold Mine to King Tut and what is it, Pakal's Tomb Lid, the Ancient Offering Table video. And a lot of my latest videos that I filmed with the drone are in 4K, so hope everyone likes that. It wasn't cheap to do. Alright, so I guess I'll wrap up the show, and thanks everyone for watching, and goodbye from Anubis as well. If anyone wants a copy of the Anubis amulet, just make sure to send me a message and I'll get you that 3D printing file. You don't even need a 3D printer if you want to make it. A lot of libraries will make it for free if you bring them the file, so definitely you're missing out if you don't have a copy of the Anubis amulet. Alright, take care everyone, and make sure that you tune in for the next show. And if you have any suggestions of what you want me to cover, I'll gladly oblige, but if not, I guess I'll just pick a topic myself and we'll go from there. Alright, thanks everyone, and have a good day, good evening, or good night. See ya. The Magi Show was brought to you by the Milky Way. I fucking hate this galaxy.